Howdy everyone, justmutantjed here. So we're at the finish line. We have our bottom here that we just completed. We have the wall piece that we completed a couple episodes ago. And you'll notice there are some spare rings in my workspace as well as a cutting implement. This actually I need to get off of here because that's not going to come into play for a minute. So, we have 32 rings here for my to join the wall piece to the bottom. We have 7 rings here to join to stitch this shut along the edge. Oh goodness gracious, I'm out of frame. All right, so we're gonna actually get a little bit offside, and there we go. All right, a little bit more complete view of my workspace here. So, and we have 16 rings for the drawstring. Tonight's tea is actually some herbal tea, some sweet dreams from Bigelow. I'll be working on that, so if you hear a sipping noise, that is what I'm working on. So yeah, I want to thank you all again for being with me on this journey, and I want to again thank Dan D especially for planting the seeds that grew into this project. So without further ado, let's hop on in. Now, this is going to look an awful lot like the process we went through to join a strip of 4-in-1 to a standard sheet. I'm actually going to orient this in a way that makes more sense to me to work with. And I'm going to, and I've also got some extra rings here just in case. It never hurts to have a few extra rings set by. So these guys can, oops, I'm making a dog's breakfast of this already. Great times, great times. You can tell I've done this before. All right, so you will also want for this project, because I'm just kind of winging it now, I don't even have a script. You'll also want something for later on because this is going to start to scrunch up very shortly. You'll need something to kind of keep the layers separated, and you'll see what I mean in a bit. You might notice that I am a little bit more hurried, and that is because it is a night and a half ahead of me having to go out the road for a little while. And I will not be at home, and that means that I have to get this done before I have a terrier that is about 90% Velcro by volume getting in my business. Don't get me wrong, I adore Pandy. There are plenty of videos of her on my channel, but she isn't the greatest companion when you want to finish a project. She wants attention all the time, and by golly, I intend to maximize the amount of time she gets my attention. So that means finishing this now, even if it's in a rush. So I hope you all are doing well. And the song that currently is playing and just finished playing is Woodshedder by Quincas Moreira. I've got Windows Media Player in the background here. And Walk Through the Park by Trek Tribe just came on. As always, I will have this linked down below if you want to check it out. I'm not going to edit this one. There will be no bottom face jump scares or banners or anything. It's just me and my voice and the click of the rings and the pliers. So, because we've done this a bazillion times before, we're just running through it. We're gathering up 2 rings at a time on either side and joining them together like we do a standard 4-in-1. I've said that already. I've also had an inadvisable amount of caffeine tonight, so it's what it takes to get me through the workday. Right. And as always, we're going to go along and we're going to check for jaggy endings and stuff like that occasionally. Just stop, make sure we're doing everything correctly. Good click. Need just an extra little twist there. And now we're on to Smooth and Cool by Nico Staff. I quite like this one. This one's kind of nice. Something about it reminds me of an older video game. Something maybe set at night. It has that kind of 16 or maybe 32-bit vibe to it. This is going unexpectedly smoothly. I haven't screwed up or bound three together in any move yet, so we're just going to call this, for lack of a term, streamer luck. Okay. Okay. All right. And you can see the expansion rings kind of poking out at intervals. They're there, and the other one's down here somewhere. I think it's this one right there. So we need those two rings there. This expansion ring and this this regular ring here. There we go. Okay, catch those two rings there. And these two rings here. Nice closure on that one. Trying not to pat myself on the back too much here. But as with any other creative endeavor, it's always good to, stop and acknowledge even the small successes. All right. Gently Onwards by Elphant. ELPHNT, all caps. This is a really lovely tune. I was pleasantly surprised when I clicked on it in YouTube's music archive. Alright, we've done 16 rings so far. Everything's looking pretty presentable. It might look a little bit funky with the expansion rings in there, but that's okay. I'm gonna take just a minute, stretch my hands, shake them out. The good thing about Sweet Dreams herbal tea is that it doesn't really over extract, so nice flavor. Think I went a little bit low on the water there though, so it's a little bit stouter than I usually brew it, but that's okay. The mint in there is doing a wonder for my throat, and the chamomile is gonna be a nice little boost when it comes to go to bedtime. It'll put me right to sleep. I might actually have another cup after I'm done with this. So, yeah, as you can see, things are getting really bunchy and scrunchy. That's a very technical terminology there. So, in a minute, I'm going to grab something to kind of put in the layers, and that way I can keep myself from stitching this to itself and fastening one side of the pouch to the other. That's no good, and I've done it before. I felt like a total fool, but luckily, as I've mentioned before, it's easy to undo mistakes with chainmail. You just got to twist a ring open and try again. If you need to start with a fresh ring, that's okay. So, alrighty. Yep, here we go. You'll see how it's all squished up along here, and actually the pattern looks really neat when it sets like this. The tightening and the loosening here just makes a nifty pattern. Alrighty. Alright, Gently Onwards is ending. What is Shuffle gonna serve me next? Don't Fret by Quincas Moreira. I have a lot of his stuff on this playlist. The mellow jazz is a kind of the ambiance. So this is just a card wallet I got. I think, let me double check before I show you my whole entire thing. Yeah, all I've got in here is a little Ardu boy that I forgot about, and I'm going to have to charge it before I use it next time. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start picking this up and using the wallet to kind of prop it shut. And that way we've got a flat surface to work from, and it takes off some of the tension from further down. So we've got 12 more rings to go. Right, and please forgive the clattering. I hope none of you have misophonia about metal running across plastic out there. And I hope even more that that's not picking up on my microphone, because a lot picks up on my microphone. I learn a lot about what goes on in my building by listening back to my footage, especially if I've got something playing on my headphones like I do right now. Okay, that one's a little bit wide in the opening, but it'll be fine. Okay, that's plenty of space. And if you need a minute to stop, get up, stretch, or reset your eyes, by all means, feel free to do it. As I said before, your project is not likely to get up and walk away, unless you have like a cat or something, in which case, well, you might have to hunt for a few rings. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Good. Alright. This is a massive pouch. I haven't done one in this size in a long time. Every time I do, it just surprises me at how much space is inside of one of these things. Okay. There we go. Got it all lined up again. Now you may notice that this side looks a little bit raggedy, and that's okay. It looks a little bit weirder from my angle. That's fine. It'll work out. Remember to take all the time you need. As I said, I'm in a rush, and even so, I can afford a little bit of extra time. Oop, I got a bit of a snag on that underside there. There we go. Perfect. Well, close enough. Okay. If you hear a clattering in the background, that is my building's elevator. It's after bar break on Friday night or Saturday morning, I guess it is now. Lawrence by Track Tribe. Anywho, it's after bar break, and so the elevators are busy getting everyone back from their leisure time on a Friday night or Saturday morning. Maybe they went to the all-night diner downtown. And I know that there's some pool tournaments going on in town right now. Or pool league. One of the two, my customers told me. Okay. We're making good progress. I vastly overestimated how much time this was going to take. When you don't have to worry about a pattern, this sort of just falls right together. Okay. We're going to move this up just a little bit, and you'll notice that this is kind of wobbling around a little bit. Sometimes you'll have rings kick up and move around like that. That's okay, just kind of pick it up, shift it until it looks right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and with the fourth one, we're going to be threading through and underneath this ring right here, and up through these ones as well. Alright, so we're gonna resettle these rings so that they set right so I can get in there and attach them correctly. You might or might not see a little bit of a shadow moving around, and that is because I'm kind of bobbing my head a little bit to the music. This is a nice little chill hoppy kind of tune, and I'm not gonna lie, I have this on a personal playlist as well. Just because sometimes you need some mellow music. I certainly do at any rate. Okay. 2 more rings. And then we'll have the wall attached to the bottom. Okay. The first one, as normal, we're gonna feed it down and around and through as per usual. And this one might look a little bit tricky or finicky, but I promise, as long as you line it up correctly, it'll be just fine. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to work on butting these two ends of the pattern together. This is the first of 8 rings, basically, or the 7 that I had set up. I don't know. Is that it? Or is that it? I think they both kind of clump together. Gosh almighty. Okay. I promise, guys, I promise. This is... Well, no one usually watches me do chainmail anymore, so... Yeah, we're going to open that, and like I said, we're going to kind of pinch this together. Ah, that's Suave Sleuth by Casa Rosa's Tulum Vibes. Alright, we're going to push this down and under, and we're gonna kind of wiggle it through. It might catch on this ring here, but what we want is we want to make sure that this comes up through this ring here, and then this ring here, because remember, we're working with a 4-in-1 pattern here. Every one ring needs to pass through 4 others. Except for expansions. Alright, so you've made it this far. Take a minute, stretch your back. I'm going to sit upright in my chair for just a minute. Take a sip of my tea, or tisane rather. When I have it, that stuff always hits right. Don't worry about sponsoring me, Bigelow. I'll talk about your tea all day for free. So, now we're going to stitch a bunch of 4-in-1 together at the end, basically. Just like we were joining units of 4-in-1 to strips. Alright, so we're going to go down, under, and back up, and through. We're going to do this 6 more times, I think. If I was using Kden Live, then this would be where a little "your mileage may vary" would show up, but I'm not going to edit this video. We're doing it live, as it were. Okay. Move these down closer to my work area so I'm not constantly reaching through my workspace here. Gonna do that again. Down, under, wiggle the rings, and oh yeah, okay, yep. Occasionally you'll get this situation where maybe I haven't opened the ring wide enough, or maybe I'm just coming at it from the wrong angle, but we get it there eventually. Night Drive by Quincas Moreira. So just kind of double check, make sure that's only 4 rings you've got captured. That's why I put this little card wallet through, is so I don't stitch this to the layer underneath. Alright. Doing it again. 5 more to go. Alright, we're going to go down, through, and under. And, oops. Occasionally that'll happen. Just kind of take a look, make sure. There we go. That's coming up through the correct ring and up through the other correct ring. Yep, that's picking up on my camera okay. I'm sure my hand was in the way for most of that, or my pliers. That's fine. Okay. Look at how close we are, guys. This is exciting, right? I'm excited anyways. This has been a long project, and I'm very happy that I'm able to share the end of this with you in more or less real time. Or my reactions are being recorded in real time. This will, of course, this will hit the airwaves, and most of the people watching this will be doing so while I'm asleep or at work. Alright. Yep. See, it just looks like one sheet of 4-in-1. And I have a mosquito in my house. Or a moth. I'm not entirely sure which. Looks like a moth. Small one, but, you know. That's the price I pay for having fresh air in my apartment this late at night. Alright. Alright, there we go. Alright, 2 more rings. Checking to make sure I didn't accidentally mute myself, thereby rendering this whole experiment a little bit silly. Okay. I'm shocked that this whole procedure has only taken just shy of a half an hour. Just tweaking that last little jaggy out. Oh, still needs more adjustment. That's fine. Willing to take a little extra time if it turns out right. And Sky Map by Reed Mathis. Alright, this is the last ring. Alright, there we go. Nice. So, here we have a more or less finished chainmail bag. Now, this is functional as it is, and I mean, if you wanted to, you could string a drawstring through these end rings here, but I vastly prefer to put guide rings down. So we're going to pull in these 16 rings that I've got up at the top of my mat here. And we're just gonna gecko finger it, I guess. And we're just going to place one ring every other set of ring. Basically gather these up by pairs. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, so we're going to go up through these two here. Some people prefer to work out small triangles even. So they'd be called a dag, where a diagonal patch comes out. So I could do this, you know, put another one through here and then put another ring through those two and have it shut that way. But that doesn't work very well on this pattern. It works better on larger patterns where there's a lot more rings at the top. At one point I adapted this pattern to make a 1-gallon pouch for a friend of mine, and if you're out there watching this, hey, how you doing? I hope that pouch is holding up well, and I hope you're holding up well. Gosh, Sky Map is such a short song. Sunny Days by Anno Domini Beats. Okay. It's 3. So we're going to gather up another pair of rings up top here. And you can be kind of careless and flop this around. It doesn't matter a whole heck of a lot. You're not going to damage it meaningfully unless you really abuse the heck out of it, or you're using a much softer metal than an aluminum. So okay. Okay. Sorry, not much to say at this stage that hasn't already been said, really. I'm more focused and locked in on actually finishing this project and going on to something else. At this late hour, probably bed. It's about 3 in the morning right now. But such is the life of a night shift guy. Tweak it a little bit, flop it around, move on to the next pair. Okay, we're going to capture another pair. Okay, Sunny Days is ending, and what do we got next? Silent Observer by Sarah the Instrumentalist. Okay. Okay, Oops. And you see what I mean about things kind of being at risk of being stitched together, because sometimes things just kind of fall into the right position. In fact, what I might do is I might actually put this wallet over here back in. Pardon me just a moment. Flex my hands and unkink my back since I'm kind of leaned over. Drink your water too. Don't forget your water, but in this case, I've had enough water today, and tea is, or tisane rather, is more what I want right now. I'll drink more water before bed. There we go. Oh man, that really picked up on my microphone. Dang. Okay, and we're gonna pick up another pair here. Oop. That one was just ever so slightly narrow for the rings gauge. If you need to twist it open just slightly more, go ahead and do that. If you need to take a minute and just run it through with your hands, go ahead and do that. One note, might not be visible here, but I can tell from my perspective that my fingertips are turning gray, and that is a hazard with bright aluminum. It's not anodized, it's not polished or clear coated or anything like that. It's just raw aluminum, and it can leave an oxide. So before I go having any snacks or anything before bed, I'm going to want to wash my hands real good to avoid getting that aluminum in my food. Not like it'll kill me. I've probably eaten a sandwich while doing this more times than is probably advisable. But if you can avoid exposing yourself to that kind of hazard, why wouldn't you, you know? Ooh. Rattle, rattle, rattle. And we've got 2 more pairs here and 2 more rings here. It looks like I actually counted that out correctly. So, and this is Flight is Aight by Karneef. I like this song. It's got a kind of a sky level in Sonic the Hedgehog vibe to it. Real chill, you know, kind of a like the title suggests. It's got a very floaty, flying kind of vibe. Possibly to some place tropical. Or waiting in a lounge at an airport in the 60s or 70s, kind of jazzy. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just running my mouth train of thought. Passengers on board are wondering what the conductor's doing. All right, now we've got the eyelets for the cord. Let's go ahead and open our paracord here, or whatever you got for your drawstring. Like I said, I've got paracord. This little thing was nifty as heck. I love it, and I wish they were selling more of them on like Amazon or something. That is the Nano Six or Nano Sax from Metal Monkey's Design. I backed it on Kickstarter, and I haven't heard or seen from them since. But they delivered a quality product, and I use it for opening boxes and packages all the time around my house. It's technically a multi-tool, but I'm really only using the edge. And where the heck is the end of this paracord? Gosh darn it. Dang. Alright. Ah. The song currently playing is Vital Whales by Unicorn Heads. I like this song. This is very trancy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a length of this. And I can feel that it's kind of already been heated off on one side, so that's great. I don't need to futz with a lighter this late at night. I will for the other end, but I'll do that off camera. Once I've got the cord lock on it, I'll take this down outside, and what we're going to do is we're just going to find all 16 of these eyelets here that we've set up for our drawstring, and I'll set this in a more right to left friendly design, or orientation rather, and I'll just string it through individually. Take your time, make sure you're running it through the correct rings, because there's a lot of them here, and some of them have kind of run underneath each other. If you can't tell, I am very excited right now. I am so happy that this has come out as well as it has. And again, I'm so happy that I have the support of my family, and the people on Discord have indulged me in the multiple communities I've been posting about this non-stop for the past month and a half. I believe I haven't said this in a couple of videos, but I think I mentioned this in my European 4-in-1 project, the first video in this 3-part series, that if you want to download this video, do so. Keep it for your own personal records, because we never know what's happening, tomorrow or the next day or any time in the future. YouTube seems to be making some moves. Not all of them are good. And we don't know how long we'll have on this platform. As with anything in real life, things could end tomorrow. We don't know. So, get what you can while you can, and I don't begrudge you if you need to archive this for your own purposes. That being said, I do request that if you do post this elsewhere, at least mention me. Doesn't have to be full formal credit. Just say, hey, Jed did this on justmutantjed or whatever. Oops, I got that one through a ring underneath it. Okay, so I think this is the last one. Question mark. So I'm going to take a minute to double check, make sure all 16 rings are accounted for, and they are. Now with this, I find that just running this the bare minimum length is not enough. I will draw in some of the slack here. And what we want is we want room enough for the cord lock at full opening and a knot up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this, pray that I don't injure myself and get this age restricted. There we go. I'm going to set the rest of this cord aside. And we're going to take a look at these cord locks. This is the first time I'm opening them. And it looks like I need my my multi-tool again, and I'm doing it stupidly and cutting towards myself. Don't ever cut towards yourself. That's a bad idea. Any Boy Scout could tell you, and anyone who's handled a knife for more than 5 seconds should tell you. Don't cut towards yourself. Alright, so we got that. Yeah, that'll do nicely. looks like I lucked out and picked the correct size. So what we want both these ends together, and we're going to push down so that the opening is unobstructed, and we're going to feed that through, hopefully without completely destroying the cord in the process. And pull that shut. There we go. And we're going to want to just tie this off. I just do a standard, granny knot, pull enough slack to where you don't have to fight it, and tighten that off. The ridge on the burnt end is kind of digging into my thumbs a little bit, making me want to wince away a little bit. There we go. So what I'll do is I'll take this outside and burn off the end after I finish recording here. It's been 46.5 minutes now. So yeah, there we go. And of course, be very careful when putting your knife away. And remember to clear your workspace off. So, again, thank you so much, Dan D, for suggesting this video. I'm so sorry it took so long, and I'm sorry this bled over into a third part. Thank you to my friends, my family, the Discord communities and Twitch chats that have indulged me in mentioning this project. Don't ever self-promo in Twitch chat. That's a bad move, but if the streamer invites you to talk about projects you're working on, well, say as minimal as you need to, get the point across. I'm actually going to pause my music here. Thank you so much to those communities that have indulged me in discussing this. Thank you again to everyone who's watched, everyone who will watch in the future. I hope this helps. And with that, this has been Just Mutant Jed, and we just made an MFing pouch, everyone. What would you put in a pouch? All right. And with that, thanks again, and have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is. Take care of each other, and I'll see you on the next one.